Elections are just days away in Venezuela, and presidential campaigns have come to a close as the state finalizes preparations before opening the polls on Sunday, October 7th. The country's electoral system has been the topic of great discussion as all eyes turn to Venezuela to see whether they will re-elect socialist President Hugo Chavez to a third term, or whether the opposition's candidate, Enrique Capriles Radonsky, will be able to close in on Chavez's projected double-digit lead in the polls to secure the first opposition presidential victory since Chavez was first elected 14 years ago. While most observers have praised the technological advances of the Venezuelan voting system, others have cast doubts on the electoral process. This is the headquarters of the National Electoral Commission, known by its Spanish acronym as the CNE, one of the 5 independent branches of government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Its task is to oversee and administer the electoral process in the country, and it is headed by 5 officials, including members of both the current administration as well as the political opposition. The Real News spoke with one of the 5 officials at the CNE, Tania de Amelio. She explains that Venezuela has updated its completely automated electoral system with an integrated thumbprint identification program used to activate the machines for each voter and ensure that their vote remains secret and secure. In addition to the digital touchscreen recognition, voters also receive a paper receipt, leaving both a digital and paper trail that can be easily traced and audited. De Amelio says the real strength of the electoral system is the capacity to audit every step of the electoral process in conjunction with representatives of the opposition.
La fortaleza de nuestro proceso es el proceso de auditoría. Nosotros hacemos en el Consejo Nacional Electoral aproximadamente más de 17 auditorías, en la cual participan todas las organizaciones con fines políticos. ¿Qué significa eso? Que el Consejo Nacional Electoral no hace su proceso aislado de las organizaciones con fines políticos, no. Todas nuestras auditorías, es decir, la auditoría de registro electoral, la auditoría de las máquinas, la auditoría del predespacho, la tinta indeleble, entre otras auditorías, las organizaciones con fines políticos están presentes. Es decir, ellos validan paso a paso todo el proceso electoral.
The Carter Center, which was founded by former U.S. President Jimmy Carter in 1982, is a non-profit human rights organization with a self-described emphasis on seeking to prevent and resolve conflicts, enhance freedom and democracy, and improve health around the world. Founder and former President Jimmy Carter recently stated, "As a matter of fact, of the 92 elections that we've monitored, I would say the election process in Venezuela is the best in the world." Hector Vanoli, director of the Carter Center in Venezuela, says that the automation of every step of the process, from pre-election voter registration to election day voting to post-ballot tallying, along with its auditability, is what sets the Venezuelan electoral system apart from other countries.
Bueno, el sistema electoral venezolano es uno de los sistemas automatizados más avanzados, no solo del hemisferio, sino también del mundo. A diferencia de lo que ocurre en otros países, el sistema electoral venezolano es un sistema integralmente automatizado. Las características técnicas del sistema electoral venezolano y esta característica de auditabilidad hacen extremadamente difícil la comisión de algún tipo de manipulación o fraude que no sea detectable. En todos los procesos electorales que ha observado el Centro Carter en los últimos años, en ninguno el Centro Carter ha encontrado indicio alguno de manipulación que hubiera podido alterar los resultados.
Opposition member Vicente Bello is a Democratic Unity Roundtable, or MUD, coalition representative to the National Electoral Council. He says that while the voting technology is advanced and ensures transparency, that it is only one aspect of the overall electoral process, and that the CNE has turned a blind eye to other practices that have contributed to a skewed and undemocratic election process.
Nosotros decimos que el voto es seguro y el voto es secreto. Y eso se cumple en estos procesos. Entonces, desde ese punto de vista, la plataforma electoral es satisfactoria y funciona rápidamente. El tema es la administración, lo que hace la directiva. Por ejemplo, con el uso de los recursos del Estado, una propaganda oficial completamente desequilibrada, uso de recursos del Estado para la campaña electoral en forma abierta. Esos son 5 canales de televisión, como 130 emisoras de radio, varios periódicos nacionales y regionales, todos dedicados a campaña como equipo de propaganda del PSUV y de campaña del candidato Chávez. Eso lo ha tolerado el Consejo Nacional Electoral y es un desequilibrio que sería inaceptable en cualquier país.
The opposition also accuses the government of using various pieces of legislation and technical rulings to hamper coverage critical of the government. Chavez supporters point to the fact that the overwhelming majority of Venezuelan media is privately owned and openly anti-Chavez, with state media controlling just over 5% of total television audience share in 2010, significantly lower than countries like France and Great Britain. They also have not forgotten the role of much of the private media in supporting and participating in the 2002 coup. In the media, there have arisen accusations that the opposition has been preparing a campaign to not recognize the results of the October 7th elections in the event of a loss. Both sides of the political divide have accused the other of participating in pre-elections destabilization efforts with the accusations.
Desde el año 2006 se han realizado 5 elecciones. La oposición ha ganado 2 y el gobierno ha ganado 3. Y en todas esas elecciones esos resultados se han reconocido, en todas se han reconocido los resultados. Lo que estamos diciendo no es que no vamos a reconocer el resultado, sino que nosotros no podemos opinar sobre un resultado antes del día de las elecciones.
The National Electoral Council has been engaged in a public education campaign in areas across the country in order to familiarize some of the more than 18.9 million registered voters with the Venezuelan voting system. On Election Day, there will be 329,000 people working at the 13,810 voting centers across the country, including 3,435 national observers, as well as 245 international accompaniers monitoring elections. Reporting from Caracas, Venezuela, this is David Doherty with the Real News Network.